Hello, ARMY. Imagine this moment. Jungkook scrolling his phone late at night, half asleep, when suddenly he freezes, blinks twice, and mutters, "Wait, is that Jin?" But it's not Jin. Or is it? That strange second of confusion is exactly where tonight's story begins. Because in the Korean entertainment world, there are faces that feel like echoes. People who look so alike it messes with your brain, your memory, even your emotions. This isn't about siblings, twins, or family trees. This is about strangers who share the same aura, the same bone structure, the same accidental magic, as if fate copy-pasted a face and dropped it into a different life. And here's the scary part. Once you see it, you can never unsee it. Have you ever questioned your own eyes while watching a drama? Have you ever paused a music video just to ask, "Wait, haven't I seen this face before?" Or felt that strange familiarity, like déjà vu, without knowing why? Tonight, we're diving into that exact feeling. 7 pairs of Korean celebrities who look dangerously alike, despite having zero blood relation, zero shared history, and totally different life paths. Some of them shocked fans online. Some sparked wild theories. Some even made people believe the entertainment industry was hiding secret twins.
And one of them?
It involves Jin from BTS and a face so similar, even ARMYs had to double-check. Why does the human brain get tricked this easily? Is it just facial structure, or is it something deeper? Vibes, expressions, the way someone carries themselves? As we count down this list, pay attention to your own reactions. Which one confuses you the most? Which pair feels like a coincidence, and which one feels almost illegal? Because this isn't just about looks. It's about identity, perception, and how easily our senses can be fooled. No long explanations, no boring lectures, just pure, intense. How is this even possible? Energy. And trust me, the closer we get to number 1, the harder it becomes to tell reality from illusion. Ready to question your eyes? Let's start the countdown. Number 7, BTS and Kim Woo-jun. The shock that fooled ARMYs. Jin, BTS, and Kim Woo-jun are the kind of lookalike that doesn't hit you slowly. It hits you all at once, like a slap to the face followed by a long, confused stare. At first glance, you don't even analyze it. Your brain immediately screams, "That's Jin." Same calm eyes, same gentle smile that feels warm but slightly mischievous, same facial proportions that somehow mix elegance and boy-next-door charm. And that's exactly why this resemblance became so unsettling for fans. Kim Woo-jun isn't just a little similar. He carries the same quiet, composed aura Jin has perfected over years in the spotlight. The kind of face that looks trustworthy, comforting, and strangely familiar, even if you swear you've never seen him before. Kim Woo-jun, a rising actor known for his clean image and subtle acting style, started gaining attention when clips and photos of him circulated online, and suddenly comment sections exploded. Is this Jin in a drama? Did BTS Jin secretly act under another name? Why does he look like Jin from another universe? And what makes it even creepier is the details. It's not just the eyes or the lips, it's the spacing of the features, the soft jawline, the way both of them look effortlessly handsome without trying too hard. Jin has always been known for his worldwide handsome title, but this comparison wasn't about titles. It was about recognition. That split second where your brain connects dots that shouldn't connect. Kim Woo-jun's expressions, especially when he smiles gently or looks slightly serious, mirror Jin's expressions during interviews or quiet BTS moments. The resemblance becomes even stronger when both appear in simple outfits, minimal makeup, natural lighting. No stage effects, no heavy styling, just raw visuals. And here's the emotional twist. Jin represents comfort for millions of fans. Seeing someone who looks like him triggers the same feeling automatically. That's why many viewers reported feeling oddly attached to Kim Woo-jun without knowing why. Psychologically, familiarity creates trust, and this is a textbook example. Jin, known for his humor masking deep emotional intelligence, has a face that feels safe. Kim Woo-jun unknowingly taps into that same emotional frequency. It's not copying. It's coincidence at its most disturbing level. Even Jungkook himself has joked before about people mistaking faces, but fans can't help imagining his reaction, scrolling, pausing, squinting, and realizing that really looks like Hyung. This pair sits at number 7 not because the resemblance is weak, but because it's subtle enough to sneak up on you. The kind that doesn't scream twin, but whispers, "Are you sure?" And once that whisper enters your head, you're done. You'll never look at Kim Moo-jun without seeing Jin's reflection hovering right behind him. Number 6, Kim Dong-jun and Han Ji-ae in Same Smile, Different Destiny. Kim Dong-jun and Han Ji-ae are proof that resemblance doesn't care about gender, age, or even generation. It just happens. The first thing that catches you off guard is the smile. That soft, sincere, almost innocent smile that feels warm and slightly nostalgic, like something you've seen in an old drama scene you can't forget. Kim Dong-jun, known as an idol actor who smoothly transitioned from Z into serious acting roles, carries a face that feels gentle, approachable, and emotionally open. Han Ji-ae, on the other hand, is a legendary actress whose beauty defined an era of Korean dramas. And yet, place their photos side by side, and suddenly time collapses. Same eye shape that curves softly at the ends. Same balanced nose that never feels sharp or overpowering. Same facial harmony that makes you feel calm just by looking at it. This resemblance isn't loud, it's comforting. That's what makes it powerful. Kim Dong-jun's acting style often leans towards sincerity. He doesn't overplay emotions. He lets them breathe, and his face does most of the storytelling. That's exactly what Han Ji-ae was praised for at the peak of her career. Directors loved her not just for beauty, but for how naturally emotions flowed through her expressions. When fans started pointing out the similarity, many brushed it off at first. But then came the side-by-side comparisons. Suddenly, it wasn't about imagination anymore. It was structure, bone lines, proportions, even the way both of them look ethereal in close-up shots. There's also something deeper here. Both carry a first love image. Han Ji-ae was the nation's first love for years, symbolizing purity, grace, and quiet strength. Kim Dong-jun inherited that same emotional branding, whether intentionally or not. He often gets cast as the reliable, kind-hearted character, the one viewers root for without hesitation. This similarity affects how audiences perceive them before they even speak. It's emotional bias at work. You expect kindness because the face reminds you of kindness. That's the unspoken power of resemblance in entertainment. And here's the eerie part. When Kim Dong-jun is styled simply, natural hair, soft lighting, minimal expression, the resemblance intensifies to the point where fans joke that he looks like Han Ji-ae's younger self from another timeline. Not a copy, not a tribute, just coincidence playing with perception. That's why this pair sits at number 6. Not because it shocks you instantly, but because it lingers. It makes you feel something familiar without knowing why, and that quiet familiarity is far more dangerous than a loud resemblance. Number 5, Eugene and Jisoo from Blackpink, visual twins across generations. Eugene and Jisoo from Blackpink are the kind of lookalike that feels poetic, almost unfair, like beauty repeating itself across time just to prove a point. The moment you place their faces side by side, something clicks instantly. Same calm, elegant eyes that seem to hold a quiet story. Same balanced facial proportions that don't scream for attention, but command it anyway. Same natural grace that doesn't rely on exaggerated expressions or heavy styling. Eugene, the legendary visual of SES, was once the textbook definition of pure Korean beauty, the face that dominated an era when idols were just beginning to shape modern K-pop. Fast forward years later, and Jisoo appears, effortlessly, carrying that same timeless aura into a completely new generation. What makes this resemblance so powerful isn't just physical similarity, it's the energy. Both women have visuals that feel gentle yet unshakable, soft but never weak. Eugene's beauty was often described as warm and approachable, the kind that made audiences feel safe. Jisoo inherited that same emotional effect. When she smiles, it doesn't feel manufactured. It feels human, grounded, sincere. Fans didn't immediately scream twins when Jisoo debuted, but as her career evolved and her styling matured, the comparisons became unavoidable, especially in close-up shots, bare-faced moments, or behind-the-scenes footage where there's no stage persona to hide behind. The eye shape, the slight curve of the lips, the calm expression when both are simply existing, not performing, create an uncanny overlap. There's also a deeper layer here. Both Eugene and Jisoo represent stability in their groups. Eugene was the emotional anchor of SES, admired not just for her looks but for her composed personality. Jisoo plays the same role in Blackpink, the grounding presence, the emotional center, the member who feels like home. That similarity in role amplifies the visual resemblance even more, because audiences subconsciously link faces with feelings. When people say Jisoo feels classic, this is what they mean. She doesn't chase trends, she becomes timeless, just like Eugene did. Even fashion editors have pointed out that both women shine brightest in simple concepts, clean makeup, soft colors, minimal accessories, because their faces carry enough narrative on their own. That's not common. That's legacy-level visual impact. And here's the part that gives chills. Many fans who grew up watching Eugene later became Blackpink fans and felt an inexplicable sense of familiarity toward Jisoo without realizing why. It wasn't nostalgia. It was recognition. A face remembered through another face. That's why this pair sits at number 5. Not because they look identical in every angle, but because they share something rarer. An inherited visual soul that transcends time, generations, and even the evolution of K-pop itself. Number 4. Lee Jun-gi and Hwang In-yeop. Same intense eyes, different eras. Lee Jun-gi and Hwang In-yeop are the kind of resemblance that doesn't rely on softness or familiarity. It hits you with sharp intensity. The first thing you notice is the eyes. Deep, piercing, slightly melancholic eyes that feel like they've lived through 1,000 stories before you even hear a single line of dialogue. Lee Jun-gi, a veteran actor known for his legendary roles in historical and action-heavy dramas, built his career on emotional depth and physical expressiveness. Hwang In-yeop, a newer generation actor who skyrocketed through youth and romance dramas, surprisingly carries that same emotional sharpness on his face. Put them side by side, and suddenly age disappears. What makes this pairing fascinating is how their facial structures communicate emotion before words ever come out. Sharp jawlines, high cheekbones, and that unmistakable gaze that feels both distant and dangerously magnetic. Lee Jun-gi mastered the art of suffering beautifully on screen. His characters bleed, endure, and survive, and his face tells every painful second. Hwang In-yeop, despite being younger, carries a similar visual tension. Even when he's playing quiet or reserved roles, there's an underlying intensity that pulls viewers in. Fans started connecting the dots when Hwang In-yeop appeared in darker concepts or more serious scenes. Suddenly, the comments shifted from handsome to he reminds me of Lee Jun-gi. And once that thought enters your head, it sticks. The resemblance isn't perfect in a mirror image sense, but it's powerful in emotion. Both have faces that thrive in shadow and contrast. Low lighting, side profiles, slow camera zooms. This is where the similarity becomes undeniable. There's also something poetic about their careers. Lee Jun-gi redefined what it meant to be a leading man who isn't traditionally bulky or overly masculine, proving that emotional vulnerability could be just as powerful. Hwang In-yeop is walking that same path in a new era, breaking stereotypes of the cold male lead by adding emotional cracks and visible inner conflict. Visually, this makes the resemblance even stronger because they share not just facial features, but narrative roles. They look like men who carry secrets, men who have been hurt, learned, and grown. And here's the chilling part. When Hwang In-yeop wears longer hair or darker styling, the resemblance jumps straight from similar vibe to uncanny. It feels like watching Lee Jun-gi reborn into a modern setting, stripped of historical costumes, but carrying the same emotional weaponry. That's why this pair ranks at number 4. It's not about confusion. It's about continuity. Two faces, two generations, one shared intensity that proves some visuals aren't just inherited by blood, but by fate. Lee Jun-jae and Hwang In-yeop don't just look alike. They feel like the same soul forged in different timelines. This resemblance doesn't come from soft smiles or gentle visuals. It comes from tension. From faces that look like they were carved to carry pain, resilience, and emotional weight. Lee Jun-jae has long been known as an actor whose eyes do most of the acting. One glance, and you already understand the suffering, the loyalty, the inner war his character is fighting. Hwang In-yeop, despite being from a younger generation, carries that exact same emotional blueprint on his face. Tall, lean frames, sharp contours, and eyes that never feel empty, even when silent. When fans first noticed the similarity, it wasn't from smiling photos or red carpet shots. It was from dramatic scenes, moments of stillness, when both men stare forward, slightly downward, jaw tense, lips pressed like they're holding back words they'll never say. That's when the resemblance becomes unsettling. Lee Jun-jae built his legacy playing characters who exist between light and darkness. Kings, warriors, outcasts, men who love deeply but suffer quietly. Hwang In-yeop naturally slides into roles with emotional distance, misunderstood pain, and internal conflict. And that's the key. Their faces were made for storytelling. Visually, they share narrow eyes with depth, high cheekbones that sharpen expressions, and a gaze that feels intense without being aggressive. It's the kind of look directors love because it adds layers without dialogue. In low lighting, with shadows cutting across their faces, the similarity becomes almost cinematic. Fans have pointed out that if Hwang In-yeop were placed into a historical drama, styled with long hair and traditional costumes, the confusion would be instant. Not because he'd be copying Lee Jun-jae, but because the visual language is already there. Even their off-screen aura overlaps. Both are known to be soft-spoken, thoughtful, and surprisingly gentle in real life, creating a striking contrast with their intense on-screen images. That duality, quiet personality, explosive emotional presence, is rare, and it deepens the resemblance even more. Psychologically, viewers associate certain facial structures with specific emotional expectations. When you see Hwang In-yeop, your brain remembers Lee Jun-jae's performances, even if you don't consciously realize it. That's why their similarity feels emotional, not just visual. It's recognition without memory. And that's what makes this pairing worthy of number 4. They aren't mirror images. They're narrative twins. Two faces designed to suffer beautifully on screen, separated by years, united by intensity, and bound by the kind of resemblance that doesn't confuse your eyes, but grips your chest and refuses to let go. Number 3, Yeo Jin-gu and Kim Min-jae, same aura, different paths. Yeo Jin-gu and Kim Min-jae are the kind of lookalike that sneaks up on you emotionally, not visually at first glance. You don't immediately shout. They look the same. Instead, you feel it. A strange familiarity. A quiet sense of recognition that grows stronger the longer you watch them act. Both carry faces that feel grounded, sincere, and unusually mature for their age. Yeo Jin-gu rose to fame as a legendary child actor, someone the entire nation watched grow up on screen. Kim Min-jae, on the other hand, carved his own path later, transitioning from idol training into acting with a steady, serious presence. Different origins, different journeys, but somehow the same emotional frequency. Their resemblance lies in balance. Balanced facial proportions, calm eyes that sit slightly deep, expressions that never feel exaggerated. When both men are silent on screen, they still communicate volumes. That's rare. Yeo Jin-gu has always been praised for his ability to convey complex emotions with minimal dialogue. A small shift in his gaze, a tightened jaw, a controlled breath. Suddenly the audience understands his inner conflict. Kim Min-jae does the same thing. His acting isn't loud. It's restrained, deliberate, and emotionally honest. And visually, that restraint makes their similarity impossible to ignore. When fans started comparing them, it wasn't because of hairstyles or fashion. It was because of close-up shots,
Body facet scenes,
Moments where the camera lingers just long enough for you to notice the same softness around the eyes, the same seriousness resting naturally on their faces. Both look like men who think deeply before they speak. That alone sets them apart in an industry often dominated by flashy visuals. There's also something incredibly human about both of them. Neither feels untouchable or distant. They feel real, approachable, like someone you could sit next to and have a meaningful conversation with at 2 a.m. That relatability amplifies the resemblance even more because audiences aren't just seeing faces, they're projecting emotions onto them. Yeo Jin-gu often plays characters burdened by responsibility, far too heavy for their age. Kim Min-jae frequently portrays men learning, growing, and struggling internally rather than externally. Different scripts, same emotional undertone. Even their voices contribute to the illusion. Both have deep, calm tones that ground their performances, making the face-voice combination feel eerily familiar. And here's the unsettling part. When you watch Kim Min-jae in a serious role, it can feel like watching an alternate reality version of Yeo Jin-gu, who made slightly different life choices. Not a copy, not an imitation, just a parallel existence. That's why this pair lands at number 3. Because their resemblance doesn't confuse your eyes, it quietly convinces your heart. It makes you believe that sincerity, maturity, and emotional depth can exist in more than one place at the same time, wearing different names, living different stories, yet somehow feeling exactly the same. Number 2, Jung Ho-yeon and N.I.K. from Enhypen, Runway Energy meets Idol Fire. Jung Ho-yeon and N.I.K. from Enhypen are proof that resemblance isn't always about pretty symmetry, it's about attitude written on a face. The moment you see them, you feel movement. Sharp lines, fearless eyes, and an expression that looks like it's constantly challenging the world to keep up. Jung Ho-yeon exploded onto the global stage as a model-turned-actress with an unmistakable presence. N.I.K. debuted as one of the youngest idols in K-pop history, yet carries a confidence that feels way beyond his age. Different industries, different generations, but the same visual electricity. Their similarity lives in the structure: strong cheekbones, defined jawlines, and eyes that cut through the camera instead of asking for permission. Neither of them has a safe face. It's bold, slightly intimidating, magnetic. When Jung Ho-yeon walks a runway or stands still in a drama frame, she doesn't soften herself. She owns space. N.I.K. does the same on stage. Even when surrounded by older members, his presence refuses to shrink. Fans started noticing the resemblance not because they look like twins in photos, but because they give off the same fearless vibe. The kind of face that looks born to perform under pressure. Jung Ho-yeon's expressions are famously sharp, minimal movement, maximum impact. N.I.K.'s stage expressions follow the same rule.
No wasted motion.
Every look, every tilt of the head, every stare feels intentional. That's why side-by-side comparisons went viral. Suddenly people weren't just saying they look alike, but they feel alike. There's also a deeper psychological layer here. Both Jung Ho-yeon and N.I.K. represent outsiders who broke in through sheer force of talent. Jung Ho-yeon didn't fit the traditional beauty mold when she started modeling, yet redefined it. N.I.K. debuted young, foreign, and underestimated, yet proved himself through discipline and skill. That shared narrative sharpens the resemblance even more, because audiences associate struggle and ambition with certain facial expressions: focus, intensity, hunger. Visually, both shine the most in motion. Jung Ho-yeon mid-walk, hair flowing, eyes locked forward. N.I.K. mid-dance, body cutting through beats with surgical precision. Freeze those moments, and the similarity becomes uncanny. Same fierce gaze, same don't look away energy. And here's the wild part: strip away styling, strip away makeup, catch them both off guard, and the resemblance becomes raw, almost primal. It's not beauty you admire from afar. It's presence you feel in your chest. That's why this pair claims number 2. Because they don't just look similar, they radiate the same fearless frequency, the kind that makes you believe some people are born not to blend in, but to disrupt everything the moment they step into the light. Number 1. Kim Ji-eun and Ryujin from ITZY. So alike it feels illegal. Kim Ji-eun and Ryujin from ITZY are not just similar. This is the kind of resemblance that makes people pause, zoom in, swipe back, and question reality. The moment you see them side by side, logic collapses. Same sharp yet playful eyes. Same confident brow line. Same half smirk that feels like they're silently judging the world, but having fun doing it. This isn't a "they could pass as sisters" situation. This is "are we absolutely sure they aren't related?" territory. Kim Ji-eun, known for her strong presence in dramas and variety appearances, carries a face that blends charisma and approachability in perfect balance. Ryujin, one of K-pop's most iconic girl crush figures, does the exact same thing effortlessly. What makes this pairing explode past all others on the list is how consistent the resemblance is across expressions. Smiling, serious, annoyed, focused, it doesn't matter. The similarity survives every emotion. That's rare. Usually, lookalikes fall apart once expressions change. Not here. The cheekbones lift the same way. The eyes narrow with the same intensity. Even the way their lips rest when they're not speaking feels eerily synchronized. Fans didn't just notice this through polished photos. It was candid moments, behind-the-scenes clips, unfiltered screenshots, casual interviews, where the resemblance became undeniable. And here's where it gets wild. Both project the same energy, confident without being loud, cool without trying too hard. There's a natural authority in their presence, the kind that doesn't need validation. Ryujin commands the stage with minimal effort, often standing still and still pulling all the attention. Kim Ji-eun does the same in acting scenes. She doesn't overact. She lets her face speak. That shared restraint amplifies the resemblance to an almost uncomfortable level. Psychologically, this is where things get intense. Our brains recognize not just faces, but behavioral patterns. When someone looks familiar and moves familiar, the brain assumes connection. That's why so many viewers felt instant attachment or confusion when first seeing Kim Ji-eun after knowing Ryujin, or vice versa. It feels like seeing the same person living two parallel lives. And imagine Jungkook's reaction. This is the kind of resemblance that would make anyone laugh in disbelief and say, "No way." Because even idols surrounded by visuals every day would get fooled by this one. Styling only makes it worse. Short hair? Dangerous. Neutral makeup? Fatal. Casual outfits? Forget it. The resemblance crosses from similar into "this shouldn't be allowed." But what truly seals number 1 isn't just the face, it's the attitude written into their expressions. Both look like they know exactly who they are. Both radiate quiet confidence mixed with playful defiance. That combination is rare, and when it appears twice in such similar visual form, it stops feeling like coincidence and starts feeling like a glitch in the system. That's why Kim Ji-eun and Ryujin sit at the top of this list. Not because they're the prettiest, not because they're the most famous, but because their resemblance challenges your perceptions so hard, you're forced to accept one truth. Sometimes, two people don't need shared blood to share the same face, the same energy, and the same unforgettable impact.